Slade Shepherd guested on our podcast and got to interview Todd Sheets, one of his favorite directors, and so he wanted to thank me, and he sent me the Miami connection. So, the shirt kind of says it all. I like to wear something that evokes the feel of the movie. Neon, 1980s cheese. So, I can't really describe this movie very well. I'm going to read off the back of this some of the synopsis of this movie for you. The year is 1987. Motorcycle ninjas tighten their grip on Florida's narcotics trade, viciously annihilating anyone who dares move in on their turf. Multinational martial arts rock band Dragon Sound, and they have matching t-shirts, have had enough and embark on a roundhouse wreck wave of crime-crushing justice. I couldn't have said it better myself. So, yes, they are a Taekwondo band who plays at a local club in Orlando. Despite the fact this is called Miami Connection, this all takes place in Orlando. But I was hooked from the very get-go. And it's because my favorite thing in the world is when a movie or a TV show has a theme that explains the plot or the characters, and this has that. And the very first line of the So, there's a chick in the band. She is not one of the Taekwondo people, and she is a college student at the University of Central Florida. She also is the sister of the most notorious drug lord in town, and he's a total dick to her and everybody that she associates with, like punches everybody that she knows. It's absolutely comically ridiculous. So, needless to say, Dragon Sound has more than one beef with these drug ninja biker weightlifters. There's a lot going on there, okay? A lot. So the whole movie revolves around this band, Dragon Sound, fighting against these drug lord, ninja, biker, like weightlifters. There's a lot going on there. Of course, Dragon Sound has to come up with a song that is a social stand against them. It's called Against the Ninja. I had to look it up. The whole time, the crowd is going, and I'm like, what are they saying? Yes, it was Against the Ninja. Like, they all knew what the lyrics were except for me. So, the main star of this is Mark. He is actually a Taekwondo instructor, or was at the time. He's now a motivational speaker. And apparently, he was so well respected in Orlando that they didn't have to have permits to do anything, to film anywhere. There was actually one point in time the police came in to try to break up a brawl that was actually just them filming because they thought it was real, because he had free reign over the whole town. It was really a passion project for him and for the director. A lot of the people in it were students of his. Many of the people in it were real people. So the cops in this are real cops. And they can't act like real cops. They act like cops trying to act. There is another band that is pissed at Dragon Sound because Dragon Sound got the gig at this club and their band was ousted. And the main guy in that apparently was a federal prosecutor. The bad guy from the band and the brother of the girl in Dragon Sound, they look almost identical. I went through half of the movie thinking they were the same person. They've got this like sort of darker Chuck Norris look going on. It really floored me when I found out they were two different people. So the story behind this is actually really, really cool. So this came out in 1987. YK Kim is the guy's name, who is the Taekwondo dude. You can tell it had so much heart. There are a lot of these speeches in it about how Taekwondo is just the greatest thing ever and how it's, gonna create peace for the world and all this other stuff. And it's so cheesily delivered that you just can't help but love it. It is very endearing. They spent a lot of money. He spent a lot of his own money, apparently, to make this movie. And when it came out, it failed miserably. Like, to the point where he was so disappointed, he just wanted nothing to do with the movie. He didn't care if he ever saw the light of day again. So, in 2010, apparently a guy who worked for Alamo Drafthouse found a 35mm print of this movie on eBay for $35. Had never heard of the movie, never seen the movie, but it was cheap enough, so he got it to play at the draft house. And he played it, and people loved it. Now, loved it in that way that we love The Room or other cult classics that are so bad they're good. So he started playing it, and it was playing to sold-out crowds. And so he contacted Mr. Kim to see if he wanted to distribute the movie. And he was so against it because it was just such a humiliation for him. But then after a while of seeing how successful this was in this smaller area, he finally relented, and that's when this came out. And it's actually by Draft House Pictures. So it's pretty cool. It's got some awesome box art. Now, I'm not really sure what the deal is, but on the inside cover and some other places, you'll see Escape from Miami. I don't see that was even ever a working title, but very little takes place in Miami, if even any. I think the Ninja Dojo is in Miami, and that's it. And you see that for about 30 seconds, and it's really glorious. None of the ninjas can coordinate their moves together, and it's beautiful. This movie's even been done by Riff Tracks, which is kind of a subset of Mystery Science Theater 3000, so that's probably the highest honor that a good, bad movie could ever get. This movie is just great, and it is really something to just take in. I can't explain it any better than the back of the box did. And you have to hear the music. There are very, very long periods of music. Because, Dragon Sound is featured prominently. Dragon Sound, they also incorporate martial arts on the stage as they're singing their songs. Yeah, you gotta watch. You just have to watch this. I'm giving this thing, I'm going to say an 9 out of 10. So, maybe not for quality, but definitely enjoyment level, and definitely, from what you could tell, was put into this. And there is not one person in this movie who has a picture on IMDb, and that speaks volumes right there. These people were in it for this particular movie, for this particular guy, and because they believed in what they were doing. So, there you go. Don't bootleg it. Buy it, please. This is obviously something this guy lost a lot of money off of, and he needs to recoup some of it. So don't be a douchebag and go watch this.